Hi, my name is Camelia Luxon, and I've always wanted to learn how to solve the Rubik's Cube. We're gonna go out and meet people that could teach me how to do it, so hopefully at the end of the film I could show you at home how to solve it. Have you ever tried to solve the Rubik's Cube?
Yes, I have, many times. I've never come close at all.
But I have bought one and then tried to remember how I took it, like how I turned it and twisted it just so I could get it back in order, and it never happened. And I got frustrated and ended up losing the thing somewhere. I don't know where it is.
Yes, actually, it actually wasn't a cube, it was a triangle. I was a little kid and I got frustrated and I threw it at my brother's head because he pissed me off, and this pissed me off.
I tried when I was at the age of 14, you know, but I can tell you that I've never really done it.
I used to have one about a quarter of this size on my keychain in high school, and so I'd always play with it. Just, you know, I was just sitting around, had my keys by me.
If you were into problem solving and strategy and all that stuff, I bet it would be really interesting for somebody to try and solve it.
The problem is when I start picking it up and trying to look at patterns and figure out a method and a science to it, I just get sucked in, and it ruins everything. Like, it ruins my finances, it ruins my relationships, it ruins my confidence. I've been here for 3 weeks. I haven't shaven. She's just here because she's trying to get me to leave the room, but I can't. I need to finish this, but there's no end.
Can you solve the 3x3?
Oh, that's what they are. Is this 3x3? Is this?
Yeah.
No. I don't. Yeah, I probably can if I had a lot of time.
Do I know how to solve it? I have no idea. There's got to be some kind of strategy.
I don't know how to solve anything like this.
No, I don't.
No, I don't.
No way.
No, I do not.
No.
Not at all. I don't know how to
My name is JP Brown, and I built a Lego robot that solves the Rubik's Cube.
Before we get into the robot, I would like to know if you can solve any of the cubes.
No.
Have you tried?
Yes. It's unbelievably tedious to do it, so I've never had the patience to do it. In fact, I hate following directions. I'd far rather make things up as I go along. We got these 3 steps, all right? Finding the initial state of the cube, figuring out the solution, and then implementing the solution. So my intuition, which turned out to be completely incorrect, was that if you built a robot that solved the Rubik's Cube, it would lead you in the direction of being able to actually physically apply a solution in a fairly obvious way. But in fact, you know, the solution space for the Rubik's Cube is so big that it's very difficult for the human mind to actually contain it. It's only really on about the last 4 face rotations or so that it's evident that the thing is going to be solved shortly.
Oh! I solved the first side. And it's correct because it matches. So we're on the right track here. So hopefully with more practice and more days to come, I would be able to solve the whole thing.
My name is Tyson Mao. I'm 22 years old. I held the world record for solving the 3x3x3 Rubik's Cube blindfolded in 2005. My time when I set the world record for solving the Rubik's Cube blindfolded was 1 minute 58.32 seconds. So that includes the memorization time. What that means is you start off by memorizing the Rubik's Cube and the time is started. Then you solve the Rubik's Cube and when you're done with everything, you stop the timer. And it actually didn't last that long. In November of 2005 at the World Championships, my friend Lian Lo broke my world record, which I really can't mind too much because he's the one who taught me how to solve the Rubik's Cube blindfolded, and he's also the person I stole the record from previously. I broke the record as well, but he broke it a bit better than I did, so he ended up with the record. In 2003, my younger brother was 14 and I was 19. It took about 2 hours for him to teach me all the steps. And after 2 hours, with a sheet of paper in front of me, with some notes scribbled on it, I could solve the Rubik's Cube in about 10 minutes. The second time I tried, it took me about 5 minutes, and then after that, I just kept on practicing.
The problem mathematically has always been to look at the solution space and be able to sort of trim the solution space sufficiently rapidly to the smallest number of moves that you need to get from the unsolved cube to the solved cube. So let's say you've got 50 faculty here and endless pens and paper, and everyone will work 8 hours a day with no weekends from the time they're 12 till the time they die. You're looking at something like 3 generations to implement the actual code.
The Rubik's Cube does not have to be a math problem. It can be if you want it to be, but just it's a step-by-step process and you don't really need any math to solve the Rubik's Cube.
It was not for a considerable period of time that people were able to adequately explore the kind of solution space that a 3x3 Rubik's Cube presents. I forget what the exact number is, but it's enormously huge.
It's not a set number of turns it takes, but in total you need to memorize about 4 or 5 different patterns, 4 or 5 different sets of moves.
You notice the pieces which are most out of place, and sort of solve those, and then the pieces which are less out of place, and then keep going until you're done.
There isn't just one secret on how to solve the Rubik's puzzle. A lot of people sometimes ask me, what's the trick? And they're looking for some immediate solution to the Rubik's Cube, and it simply doesn't exist. It's not just one thing I can tell you, and then suddenly you can be able to solve the Rubik's Cube.
Whereas a robot, or at least the one I designed, is going to be doing a shortest path traversal of all the possible solutions.
When people ask me what the trick is to solving the Rubik's Cube, I've always wanted to say a trick is something a whore does for money. But something tells me Martha Stewart, they wouldn't have been very happy if I did that.
Okay. Go ahead. Yeah, go for it.